guess TOH is on your page 8. Thank you, everyone. Welcome back. And they're like, am I going to bow that time too? No, you don't have to. No one ever has to bow to anyone. Yeah, that salutation thing is done out of gratitude, not out of respect of obligation. I was, oh, I'm great, thank you. I do salute you. Like I would say hi in this society, I say hi in that society. It's okay. There's no like reverence of the great being in front of me because that would be against my teaching. I'm going to kick your butt if you think I'm a better being than you are. It's that you need to free your mind of that idea. If through Rin we have contemplated that our definitions of ourself doesn't change who we are. In Kyo, we know that we are fully responsible of what we are and what we do. In TOH, we discover the treasure of life when we realize a very important aspect of ourselves. Jitarashi Atrajivaratna Swaha. Jitarashi means to conquer the zodiac. Now, conquering the zodiac can mean multiple things. It can mean to go in outer space and destroy all the stars that make those drawings. So we have conquered the zodiac, which is completely stupid. So no, not good and great. Conquer the zodiac is to become so good in astrology that you are the best in the world and you have conquered zodiac. I finally read every big book on astrology. No, that's not to conquer the zodiac. It doesn't mean to train in that. The word zodiac, when those mantras were created like 2,500 years ago, it was further than Sakyamuni, okay? It was in the early development of Vajrayana after Sakyamuni. When they said Rashi, zodiac, what was their experience of the zodiac? And it pretty much didn't have to do with what we believe today in astrology. Okay? There was astrology, okay? The Hindu astrology is very complex and it's very well detailed. And I'm not going to give a class of astrology because this is not what they mean. You know, when someone is a Cancer, we say they behave in a certain way. And someone is a Gemini or a Pisces, they behave in this or that way. So the zodiac means to conquer your personality, the way you behave. Okay? It starts with undefining yourself and accepting the moment. And do what you can with the means you are with this profound sense of responsibility. I am in charge and I can succeed what I put my hard work into and all that stuff, okay? Now, Jitarashi, Yatra is like will deliver or makes a link with, you know, it's a grammatical thing in Sanskrit. It will allow you to get. Jivaratna means the treasures of life. Okay, what is beautiful in life? So these are symbols, the treasures of life, the good moments, the happy moment, the feeling of success, the feeling you've accomplished something good, that you're doing a good job. Whatever you find to be a treasure of life, you will obtain it as you have vanquished personality traits. Now, what does that mean? Let's say I suggest that you could, someone suggests you to train more. And you say, yeah, but I'm lazy. I'm not like that. I have trouble doing this. That's a belief. That's something inside you that doesn't believe that you should do Kyo. That you should not use the means you have in the best of your ability, but not too much. Enough to remain comfortable and enjoy your life, You're part of you that says, I still complain. Yeah, well, I'm not good enough. I was telling him to Brahma Surya, I says, well, I want to help you break this idea that you don't have to be ashamed and hide the results of your work. So I want you to show me your work. And he replies to me, it's going to take a lot to break that shame. Well, you see, there's no way for him to know if that is true or not until he breaks the shame and measure with whatever tool he has how much energy it took to get to that point. Because that shame can be just a wall. sheet of paper or 12 feet of concrete? We don't know. We don't know. So Jitarashi starts with this availability that you can do it, and then you prudently evaluate the possibilities. You dare try. Prudently try. If what you do is things are as they are, but I don't really want to. I am responsible, but I don't really care. You're not gonna, Jitarashi is over. You're not gonna conquer anything in the art of TOH if Rin and Kyo do not start to deliver their feeling that I, yes, can potentially win and vanquish everything I set my mind on. Okay? Develop skills, become better, find help, and, you know, of course there's natural laws, and, you know, we live in nature. At one point there's old age, there's stuff that happens in life, you know. But it will get worse if you do nothing about it. It'll get better if you do. The first thing is whatever resistance you oppose to becoming a super being, we just said it, that you're in charge of that and you are responsible for taking care of it. So vanquish your personality. And it starts with all these beliefs that you have, that you can't make it, that's going to be hard, it's going to take a long, I'm not like that, I have an opinion, I don't believe it. It takes time to get the objective attitude of discovery. Let's find out how it feels when 5 people look at me and tell me everything they don't like about me. Let's find out. That's hard, huh? Well, I did that. I took a bunch of friends, so I would really appreciate if you told me everything you don't like about me. They did. When I saw they were ashamed and not wanting to tell it, I would dig. I will help them. Please, dare. I'm telling you, I really am available. You know, if I do anything that affects you, you need to tell me. It doesn't mean I'm gonna agree, but I can be certain that I won't hold it against you. I will want to discover why is that person aggravated by my behavior. And if 4 out of 5 people say something similar, it's not their problem, it's mine. And it requires the humility to admit I do have a personality. I am in a certain way. And if I am a slave of my conditioned behavior, if I'm a slave of my beliefs in the way I feel I can be in life, a divinity, an incarnate divinity, would have no shame in demonstrating if they have an ability or if they have an inability. So if you're stuck on your road, you're stuck, you have a limitation that slows down your progress, because you don't dare cross certain limits inside you. I'm talking about prudent crossing of limits that doesn't hinder your health. But expose yourself to potential opinions. Another example of that, of conquering the zodiac. Now seriously, how afraid are you of what people think? And the first thing that comes in the mind of the most arrogant people that think that they are humble, they ignore its arrogance, is, I don't care what people think of me. You know? Oh my God, I don't care what people think of me. This is the most obvious self-defensive comment, because it says I am not open to discover. I don't care. Like if you were to be impermeable, like, what's the word, impermeable?
Immune to?
Immune to. I'm immune to what people think. Someone who has no hesitation or limits and no personality traits to protect would just say, I would enjoy discovering if I will be affected or not by their comments. Let's find out. So this defensive, I don't care, people can think whatever they man. It's just, they can just go and fuck themselves. You know, just push these people who react, I don't care, I really don't mind what people think. Push them to a point and they'll just say they can go and fuck themselves. or just send them to hell. They can go and do whatever they want, but it won't affect me. They are so affected. They're pride, weak sissies who can be affected, reason which they defend themselves. I'm talking about you guys here sitting here and those watching videos. Let's talk of the difference in a warrior between pride and honor. A warrior that protects his honor has no honor. He's proud. Not the good pride of I'm proud of what I did, gratitude, but even if no one knows, I'm still happy with what I did. This is the good pride. I'm talking about the bad pride. The one is like, you can't insult my family name. Bam, you just endorse that you believe you have a personality trait that becomes a weakness. Because someone can make you become angry and lose your sense of peace. Therefore, you're weak. When yourself is sitting like a pillar in absolute peace, your family name cannot be insulted. So there's no pride. There's no family pride. There's family honor. And the family honor is if someone wants to come and hurt a member of your family, you will do what is required to encourage happiness and alleviate suffering. So protect those you love. But if someone calls your name in vain or bad, you're a bunch of sissies, your clan is no good. Doesn't matter. If we kick your butt, we're better than you. If we can't kick your butt, we're not as good as you are. And only results matter. And if I really feel satisfied of the work I've done, I won't feel the need to compare and see if I'm better or not. I'll just want to do my best. There's the friendly competition. That's cool because you know where you're at. It's okay. And then you have, it becomes competition. But then you have this pride, the unhealthy, vicious competition about establishing how more violent you can be than someone else, how more evil and vicious you can be, and call that family honor. That's not honor. That is not honorable. Honor in a warrior is to protect the level of happiness. The family honor is not the family pride. Okay? In some languages, that bad pride and that honor is the same word, so it brings confusion to this dharma, obviously. Okay? But you'll see the true centered and powerful warriors, someone comes to them in the street and insult them, they don't even bulge. They don't even feel that that person, unless the sword is coming to their face, could possibly leave a mark on their ego. And that's conquering the zodiac. That's conquering personality traits, identity, what you look like. Do your best so that others are happy of what you did. They will love you, and that matters. Boasting how good you are doesn't change how good you are. You understand that? So, I'm good, I'm so good. Well, prove it. Not in a proof of competition, that's not good. It's just, well, do you have some way to demonstrate? So we just can see, are you credible or just pumping up hot hair in your head? This kind of proof. No, don't go prove yourself, especially if you have nothing to gain from it. I mean, I don't need to demonstrate if I'm good in that field of competence or not. So why would I go and boast and try to pretend? What matters is the result. I don't need to say if my tradition of kuji-in is the good one or the bad one compared to others. I don't care. What I care is that whatever I teach gives results and people enjoy it. Then it doesn't matter how good is each tradition. And you'll never see me bitch any tradition because I know other kuji-in tradition did give good results. So, I mean, I'm the protector of that idea. If it gives results, it does. And I do appreciate other tradition. And I did exchange with other people who learned kuji-in in other tradition. And we ended up with a common accord. It's fun that we get the results that we desire through the tools that we use to achieve them. And that's awesome. The pride of the warrior would come and say, my tradition is better. Period. Pure, egocentric, useless pride that doesn't change anything about the results. Who cares? The quality in comparison. What matters is the quality in the experience now. Was it useful? Does it bring you something now? Okay. So the idea of saving the family honor with vicious action, it makes no sense. When to protect your family honor, a family of warriors had to go kick the butt of another family of warriors. This is the teenagers that fought. The head of families, they didn't do this. Like there's a lot of movies about Hitman, the master of Bruce Lee. At one point in his life, Hitman, the students of Wing Chun are Hitman, and the students of another great master in that city that was considered to be the best master before Hitman moved in. It was Kyoto, I think. Was it? Yeah. So the students were competing. So the masters decided to meet, and they met. He says, "What do you think about this?" And they talked. Good. What about that thing? What do you think about this origin of this kind of style? Or do you believe in, they had chit-chat. At one point, Hitman said, shall we compare notes? Like if they were going to take books. Shall we compare notes? And the other says, of course. They stood up and they started to fight. And, at one point, they just stopped. I'm very grateful. Both of them were in gratitude to discovering how the other experiences it. They became friends. Which lowered the tension between the two clans. Because the teenagers who did not master their personality is like boasting, trying to get more. Another story, when young men want to impress young women, they try, some try to pump up, bigger car, bigger muscle, and, sometimes it does work with the ladies that are into that. I won't say superficial. I will say, a human being with good genetics, which is okay. I don't mind. But then you have this guy that just keeps being helpful all the time. And that guy who keeps being helpful ends up appreciated and loved by everyone, including the lady that you want to have a relationship. The guys that pump up, they end up with a girl, yeah, it happens, while everyone is angry at them because they pump more. You understand? Is this genetic reflex that we have to pump up, to show, to boast that we're better, will ruin the quality of life of the environment by negativity, by bitching, by lowering someone else's skills or esteem by talking, just to believe that we're better. But actually the results is, can you raise a family? Can you pay food? Are you good? Do you bring back the bills home and pay them? Can you live a healthy life and be happy in a couple? Oh yeah, so the super dude had the super babe, and I did encounter some of those physically, aesthetically super dude and babe that had stable lives, but the majority of those I met had unstable life and were not really happy in love and had a lot of problems related to their need of external attention, which is not always, because there are a lot of bodybuilders who really do take care of their life and health. And I've worked with bodybuilders, and when I was a graphic artist, I had a lot of clients in this field because one likes my job, presents me two friends who did it, and then eventually I became the publisher of a few books of authors in the field of fitness. So I'm educated in that field a bit. There's a lot of good people and there's a lot of bad people. And there's people who they don't know how to be humble. They're oblivious to the concept of appreciating someone else. It's impossible. They need to be appreciated. Well, TOH will require you to vanquish that external need of validation, where only results matter, so you can enjoy life by doing your best. But this ego inside that throws you off the efficiency of Kyo, that throws you off the simplicity of Rin, And in there's a lot of simplicity. In Kyo, there's a lot of efficiency and responsibility. In To, we study those forces we have inside that want to push you off and just bitch. So the warrior's pride becomes your downfall, and the warrior's honor is you know you don't need to move if there's nothing to protect. There's nothing to protect. Why would you go and protect something? So the superficial pride of what people think of you, you should use it as a way to grow. If in general people think that you're this or that, you'll say thank you for the comments. If they go negative, you'll take the comments. It changes nothing. You just take the comments, and if they don't give it to you because, you know, normal people are hypocrite and afraid of telling it in your face, so they tell your best friend and you hear about it. You say, go see that person that doesn't like you. Listen, I'm not angry at you. I want to grow. Would you please tell me in my face what you told my friend, and I assure you I won't be angry at you. If it aggresses you, I must change as a person. If you do that, you're giving an example to this person what it is to be responsible, and you're encouraging that person to change. You'll have an impact on others by being humble yourself and wanting to grow. You'll have that humility yourself, which is good. Huh? So whatever makes you afraid of looking at people that could potentially have opinions or bitch you, that fear of facing yourself, actually. Huh? We're speaking about this last week, recently. Charyas, Days of Integrity, we had this little thing about everyone talks to everyone about what they feel and think of each other to see what's going on. You know, if someone can grow off some comment. Well, the result is we need to discover who we are, and personal growth is the only way to get better as a person. That's Jitarashi. Jitarashi is personal growth. That's what it means. Conquer the zodiac means personal growth. Do personal growth. You'll be happier in life. So conquer the zodiac to deliver the treasure of life. You got it. Simple, huh? Now, martial art application. When we do the mudra, we just put the index and the major inside. The fingers that were partially outside, now the index and major are inside, which is that power and experience is inside. What is my power? Find your personal power. This is what it means to put the index inside. Okay, so that's the personal growth approach, or the original spiritualist approach. When it became martial, what we did is we still impose our experience on power. Okay, and we did this little outer lion thing. Okay, because it looks like a lion when you're outside. Okay, does not mean it's called the outer lion. This mudra when you do martial arts style, not because a lion comes out, but because it looks like a little lion when you look at it in front. Okay, with the two eyes, which is the index, right? That's why we call it the outer lion. But it's all about what you are inside. But in the personal growth, those fingers are inside. The first time we did this is simply because it hurts the fingers too much to the old people when they bind their fingers too weird, like martial artists. Okay? So that's the first reason we did it. And then we discovered introspection is easier because you take your experience and your power inside and you're in contemplation. What am I? Now that I know how to live as I am, Ren, and that I know I'm autonomous and responsible in my interaction, Kyo, well, what am I? In experimental discovery. So we did it, right? In the martial art, the index is still outside, but still submitted of the experience, that will go inside. Okay? And that's the difference between the martial and the personal growth approach. Okay? And in the martial approach, you still have a expression of power. Basically, it means you will discover yourself while sparring, while you express your power, while you're doing your work outside, there's a form of personal growth, because it's, you know, the discovery that happens when you take martial arts class, the trust that augments, the feeling better in your body, the training, at the health level, the confidence you gain where you don't need to prove yourself that much anymore. There is a form of personal growth in martial training, okay? So there will be this contemplation, what am I? There's a guy that for years, he was a power atomic bomb on the stage doing his kata because he was some kind of black belt that many dans in Kempo. And he did the staff kata with such power, and you could feel it everywhere. And he deposited it. It's like, was it okay? Was it right? The moment he was not doing the martial art system, he was a weak, fragile person, afraid of what people thought about him. But when he was on stage, he was bam. Eventually, that transpired on his person, but it was until he was third dan, after what, so many years, 20-something years of training, that he said, I trust myself. I am always in a state of power. I just don't need to display it. Well, you know, I've been following this guy for what, 10, 11 years, and I've seen the evolution from the weak guy that's powerful when he has a purpose of doing his art, to becoming that man that trusts himself in daily life. You know, it took some time, but there is a form of introspection while you're doing your art, your martial art. Okay, so that's that's how you get better. So it means this is where it comes from. You know, the kind of speech like, you know yourself when you fight, and you can know the other when you fight him. You know, that's very Chinese, but it transpired in the Japanese art too. Some martial artists will do that. And then you'll have even the Seraphim, the Chinese guy, or the Oriental guy in the Matrix, that wants to fight Neo before he shows him the Oracle. Do you remember that past? Where this guy dressed in white in the Matrix wants to fight Neo? Okay, you forgot about it, who cares, okay? So there's a movie where this guy says, it says, who are you? Are you Neo? He says, yes. Then please allow me to apologize immediately. He says, for what? For this. And he starts to fight him. Okay? And at the end he says, okay, you're Neo. So, I mean, you could just ask. You never know someone until you truly fight them. Okay? Anyway, that's a metaphor about, you know, it's super awesome, but I know you guys and we never had to fight. Actually, we did. Through argumentation of who's right and wrong. And I always let you win. Like, it's okay. You think what you want. I don't need to prove my point of view. It's okay, you know. So yeah, I'm the biggest loser. That would. I am losing weight. It's good. Training, years of training, but it's good. So this idea of discovering through combat is not to discover through violence. Okay. It's to discover through lots of interaction, and this is what it means, okay? This one, it's like that, and you put fingers here, okay. So, this is what it means. Discover yourself through those interactions. So then again, it's not limited to martial arts. It's when you interact with others, this is how you discover inside what response. What were you afraid of? What did you try to protect? Your behaviors, I see a lot of people twisting their fingers like, oh, confusion mudra. All right, which finger goes where? So, you discover yourself when you interact responsibly with others. TOH is built on that at this point. And of course, you can all just go do pure introspection. Or you can do like the martial application. Let's find out. I'm going to go in life and discover by interacting with people how I feel when I interact with people. And you grow. It's awesome, man. Technical notes. Hand on hand prayer mudra. Split fingers. The index, now the index and the major open up, right? The index goes at the base of the ring finger. The index goes at the base of the ring finger. So you have to say, okay, what is the index? What is the ring finger? Put them at the base. Right? Close your major on it. You got it. You don't have to do it, all right? I'm just saying. This is the outer line. Okay, so then you just put your fingers inside and so comfortable, all right? That's good. Good enough for me. Okay, so does it make sense, this entire idea of through those interactions, those powerful and wonderful interactions you have, is revealed how you really are, and as long as you still have a personality, a set of preference, who you would vote for, which is okay by the way, but when it becomes a battle with someone who would never change his mind, why would you argue, you know? All these things that you put in your identity to battle about a subject ruins your life. Treasure of life is how simple and happy you can be while super powerful and feel that you can achieve whatever you want. Sometimes I don't feel happy. I feel I can accomplish everything, not because I want to, because I actually did accomplish something that I wanted to. I wanted to, I did it. Good. I didn't want a trophy because I never did it in a competition. I don't care. I did it because I know what I do is good. For me, for others, I feel good, satisfied, good pride, which is actually gratitude that we call pride. It's thank you so much myself for delivering that energy and power. Now I know more about myself and I also feel satisfied and powerful. So it's not a sense of joy type happiness, but there is an happiness. That feels good. Now let's go and take a chocolate milk against the instruction of my diet person. You know, I don't have a diet person, but if I would have a diet counselor, they would be mad at me like crazy. I still take care of my health a lot. Enjoy life. I'll put little notes in there. Enjoy life, but when you do, make sure no one suffers about your enjoyment. Do you understand that part, maybe? Make sure no one will have to suffer or pay a price for your enjoyment. And I'm not talking about the last can on the shelves. If you arrive and there's a can on the shelf, you take it. Oh no, I shouldn't take it because that prevents the other from having it. Well, he's got to take it and the other guy after won't have it. I mean, at one point, this is not a topic. I'm saying I don't enjoy getting drunk. I'm just saying a guy would enjoy getting drunk and he comes home, beat up his children, can't hold himself, has to masturbate all the time in front of everyone or not caring, you know. Just going awful behaviors. But that's my life and I live it like I want. Yeah, and you can do it in jail without the resources you need to enjoy yourself because we're tired of your arrogance. Eventually that's going to happen, okay? So make sure that as you enjoy yourself, there's no karmically charged consequence on you being an asshole or someone else or you know, don't steal. That's what I mean. You know, go work hard. Work hard. That's good. Work hard, easy fun. Secret of life. Except Gerard Depardieu says the secret of life is butter. I sometimes agree. The secret of life is butter. That's a joke. Secret of life is work hard, hard work, easy fun. Okay, that's how it is. Okay? Easy fun means something easy that doesn't ruin your finances to get, or that is not too hard in your health, or that won't, you know, something that is easy to have. Not too much resource involved. Everything can have whatever you want, but in this simple way that if you can't buy it because it's too heavy on your finance, you won't feel bad about it. Oh, I have my fun, Maha, but I can't do it because it costs $6,000 a week. Oh, I mean, guy, you need to learn to play cards or something. You need to find another way, you know, than base jumping from skyscrapers because it does cost an awful bundle of money. So, yeah, do you understand what I mean? You know, hard work, easy fun. It's try to have fun a lot that doesn't hinder anyone else's happiness, and doesn't cause you financial or health problems. That's the best way to go. Lots of fun, but lots of hard work. That will also not ruin your health. Good? Breathe. Now we'll do the simple toe, okay, the introspective toe, with its mantra. Om Jitra Yatra Shivaratna Swaha. Conquering personality traits, animal pressures, opinions, behaviors, and marks of my identity. Conquering personality. Allows me to enjoy life as I purely and simply experience it. In To, we cultivate the honest desire of facing serious personal growth. That's what we do. Mantra. Om Jitra Yatra Shivaratna Swaha. I truly desire to discover how I am, what I am, who I am. Through an honest and compassionate path of personal growth, any path will do. Can't be just a path of Mahajriya or Maha, no. Any personal growth. I want to do it. Because you're born free and you must remain free even in your spiritual path. Especially in your spiritual path. Mantra. Om Jitra Yatra Shivaratna Swaha. Honest personal growth allows me to become happier progressively. I believe it. I am responsible. I want to live as things happen. Contemplated, whispered, or silent. The Dharma. Slowly and softly release the mudra. I ask a question. Are you honest about your personal growth? Just to wrap up the To teaching. Are you honest about your personal growth? And everyone will say yes. Except a few will say no while they actually are serious. That's, some people bitch themselves so hard that even when they do good personal growth, they believe they're not doing enough. Like Adi Balantu, he does great work, but it's never enough. He's never good enough. Come on. Take things as they are. There are results. Therefore, he did it. It works. So you're a good person and you're awesome. Little nudge in the face to Adi, my friend. And disciple, and he's a master now. He has students of his own, his classes, but he still believes he hasn't done good enough. Come on. All right, so the majority of people is, yeah, I'm good in my personal growth. I have looked at myself once in a while. Come on. I'm telling you seriously. Be honest and give yourself a good seance of self-observation once a week, while every day you should be aware of what's going on. Once a week, give yourself a good seance. Then you decide how much time. And that self-observation has to be to the point where you would be uncomfortable. You can't just stay in your comfort zone. Yeah, I observe myself and I notice that, if people think I'm an asshole, it's their freaking problem. This is not kuji-in. This is trying to find a falsified comfort zone. That's not what I'm talking about. You don't have to do personal growth. I'm saying if you want to pretend to understand kuji-in correctly in its application, you have to be humble enough to look at yourself sometimes and says, that was a mistake. I can correct it. I'm not doomed, stuck with that behavior. I can correct it. It will take the time it will. But I have to agree, it does cause suffering and I really want it to make it better. Be honest in your personal growth and then do whatever you can. course, we teach a lot of tools to do that. You need to be honest in wanting to become a better person. And a better person is not measured, but the results are obvious. A better person means more people are happy about you and less people suffer about you. You can't fake it. You can't lie it. You can't fake personal growth. When you do an honest personal growth, usually the people around you found you a bit more cool to live with. But personal growth is not to adapt to others' behaviors so you never piss them off. No, it's to be yourself. But you tend to be more charitable. You tend to want them to be happy. It's not just about you anymore. You know, personal growth means it's not just about you. Actually, if you evolve just because you suffer, you're still egocentric. You still should do it. You know, you should heal yourself if you suffer. But that's still egocentric. The reason why you do personal growth is because you want everyone to be happy, including you. You want the others to be happy when they're with you. You want your interactions to always bring some level of happiness. It's not just about you. Personal growth is not just about your person. It's about everyone that will have this interaction with you. And then it becomes a global perspective. So of course you can save the world if you make yourself better. You'll have your share of responsibility so everyone has a better life. One thing at a time. But you're not a savior. You're not. Your job is not to make the other person grow. Ah, shit. This is one of the bullshit things that happens in my tradition. Because they believe in integration, they tell other people what they should look at. That's good, and that feels good. Seriously, Simon Wiesel. I'm sorry, Lara, but you should look at that part. You know, you need to grow on that because it pisses me off. Yeah, well, how about I could look at why does that behavior piss me off? That's personal growth. And then, you know, Lara, you know that I'm irritated by that, but I did look at it, and if you want to look at it, you can. But I'm going to find what makes inside me that I'm so vulnerable that I'm thrown off when you do have that behavior, you know. But at least you don't project the blame. Just say, well, I feel like that. It doesn't mean you're pissing me off. I am pissed off of my own accord and own power when you do this because I react. I'm going to take care of it. But now you know, so maybe you want to do your share. You can't go and impose on other. You have personal growth to do because I'm a lazy asshole and I don't really feel like healing my problem, but if you heal yours, I'll feel so good. I mean, that is not honest. That's not authentic desire of doing personal growth. So in that TOH experience, is it takes for granted that you have the Rin and the Kyo wisdom well in place. I am the one who's going to do what is required to discover my experiences so I can grow. And in the dojo, you're going to become awesome. Because you don't need, when you have that Rin Kyo-to experience well implemented in you as Dharma, you don't need to throw 1,000 punch to get to that perfect punch. After 500 or 300, you already get it because you become so sensitive to what you are, even physically. At one point, it just makes more sense, and then the energy just goes bam. And especially in forced combat, you can't do forced combat. We're talking supernatural combat using chi to hit inside people's organs or, you know, push with a hand without actually touching the person and stuff like that. You can't do forced combat if you don't do personal growth. Because as long as you're on the battlefield saying, it's not my fault if I suffer, I'm not the one responsible for my pain. As long as you say that you're powerless and a victim of what happens around, you can't affect your environment because you declare that your environment has power over you. So you need to get to this point of responsibility. I'm in charge of what I experience. And then, bam, you start to have the supernatural aspect of combat. And you do the cool stuff that we see only in ninja movies. That although they did use video effects, there's something awesome you can see. I've seen one, I've done it myself twice, but I could never repeat it because I never trained it. But I've also seen it and others do it. 2 people in my life, but I saw it 3 times with 2 people did it. You know, they just dereference space-time. So they run a certain distance, but their goal was not to run there, it was to be there. So they just went boom, super fast. Like for half a second, it was 50 miles an hour. It's like just a few steps. They disengage the natural space-time continuum, and their goal is not to run up to there. It's to be there. To just go and shlap, make that step, or a few steps. You know, we see we call it shunpo in manga. You know, flash stepping. I've done it twice. I've seen it 3 times by 2 people different than me. And please don't take my word for it. I could be a manipulator and a liar. I'm just saying that some people actually did that. From my experience. Then you know, if you've never seen it, I mean, there's no way I can prove it. We don't have recording of that. And I can't reproduce it because I find it not useful. If I want to go somewhere, I'll just take my legs and go. It'll happen, you know, at peace. Like a lot of the masters that can do this cool shit, but they'll slowly do the things like anyone else would do. I mean, once you have a supernatural experience with kuji-in, the feel of actually using it becomes less interesting. You just want to appreciate walking there was also a beautiful experience. Now that I'm there, I can make my team. But my goal was not to make my team use superpower to do it faster. It was just, it felt good to also make it. It felt good to walk there. It feels good to come back. You're just in this appreciation of the moment. However, in a moment of drama, bam, you can react with whatever skills you've trained. So, yeah, I know one guy now, there's only one of them that trains it, but he keeps training, and sometimes he does it by will. He's getting to this point of sometimes he actually calls it. And no, you can't ask me who it is, I won't tell you. Ask me not to talk about this stuff, which is okay. I respect that. If you want to have an effect on nature, you have first to accept nature does have an effect on you. That's undeniable, that's obvious. But you can't blame. There's a difference on objectively accepting we're all affecting each other, nature and the other people affect you, but you can't blame and on purpose give them back your power. You're the one hurting me when you call me an asshole. Because the truth is, when someone calls me an asshole, it's just sound going from its mouth to my ear, but it changes nothing on if I am an asshole or not. If I'm Earth, I'm the one being hurt by the words that you use. But it's not his words that hurt me, it's my interpretation, because I feel like an asshole, and it hurts when he reminds me because I hate myself. And this is where you need to do your personal growth. Responsible, self-contained personal growth. This is what we want to do with kuji-in. Okay? Thank you. This closes today's teaching with the 3 major foundation of kuji-in, Rin, Kyo, and To. We have seen what is required to understand every other aspect. Because we start over again, but we add special effects now. Like Rin, Vajramanataya Swaha, and then we'll go on Sha, Haya, Vajramanataya Swaha. Okay, now that I've done personal growth, I know I can be like that, you know, and then you start and develop your power. We're getting there.